welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live, the super cool nerd show. My name is Bad Moon Pie, but I don't do this show by myself.
That was a good impression.
I have other people with me, and on my right,
Hi, it's Rob, the One-Handed Bandit.
I have Rob, the One-Handed Bandit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another... Wait, no, that's not right, is it?
That was my bastardization of Jason's line.
I am Cass, otherwise known as Moon Pie, and I have this new toy that Jason got. I'm gonna hold the whole show.
She feels powerful.
Yeah.
And then further down...
My name is Nathan. I go by Near. I was also on the Alternate Heads podcast.
Near,
Yeah.
far, and then back behind the board, making things look, acceptable.
Decent.
The tugging on wires, trying not to delete the whole thing. Is
Yeah.
we have Jason the Axe.
I feel as though I was mocked at the beginning of this show.
You were,
You
so good for
absolutely
you.
I'm not happy about it.
Beginning of
Also,
the
I
show.
left my story image up while I was doing that, so
Come on,
I'm
man.
not happy about the mocking. This is a very serious show.
Get used to it.
If y'all could treat it as what is wrong with my damn mic? How does Core do this?
Yeah, it was contractual when we were going to do it at his house with his camera, at his studio with his camera, that he would have to have some position on the show. And, he doesn't
I'm running
really...
a damn show.
really work hosting it, but apparently he can't really work producing it either.
You know what? Screw this. I'm going to drink.
What are you
Good
getting?
luck. Good luck, you bastards.
I don't want to do both. Anyway, tonight we're talking about a bunch of stuff. We're going to do some Quakecon stuff. We're going to do some SDCC stuff, but we're going to kick it off with some super cool nerd news. Are we starting with my story? We're starting with my story. I don't even care. I'm just going to flip my pages. I had a different story, but guess what? We have Overwatch news and Overwatch League news. So, of course, I'm doing that. Today, Blizzard officially announced what has been leaked for weeks, if not months, that Stage 4 of Overwatch League competition is going to include a 2-2-2 role lock. 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS. This is to change up a omnipresent meta throughout the first 3 stages called GOATs, which is Go All Tanks and Supports. We haven't seen damage dealers very much, so they're fixing that. But really the big news was that along with that, they're also on the PTR as of today. They're rolling out 2-2-2 lock and roll Q for all of competitive. This is something people have been clamoring for since, season 2, and I think we're in season, 17?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Some people are super excited. Some DPS players are super excited as they will finally be able to queue up just to play damage-dealing heroes that they love. Other people who tend to play tanks and supports are excited not to have 5 damage dealers in their queue along with them to play impossible comps, scream for heals, and not have any tanks. So, that's live on the PTR. They've already announced that you will do 5 placements to get an SR, a ranking in each role. And they'll go from there. They said this is kind of a work in progress. Obviously, there will have to be balance changes along with this to certain heroes. It'll be a lot easier to balance if there's a limit on how many, say, healers there can be. So, it should be fun. I'm pretty excited. A little bit sad to see some of my crazy comps go by the wayside. But...
Overwatch League, I'm a little bit sad because I was a fan of goats as a meta, and I did like somber goats, but I love at the end of certain matches in the Overwatch League, you would see it all of a sudden switch from goats meta to here's a bastion, and here's 3 or 4 different healers, and here's all these crazy different comps that we would get at the end of certain games in Overwatch League. I'm a little bit sad to see that go away.
Main takes going to Tracer to get back to the point
Exactly.
to try and challenge it. That was fun. It is a little sad to see that. They announced some weird stuff. I think they announced it. They leaked some weird stuff before earlier in this week, like they will be sitting in an order. to tank like in the same order every time, which is a little bit weird that they would force that on them. And also they'll be able to switch roles between like maps.
Okay.
But not within games. So some crazy rules will be a little bit of adjusting.
And have we heard about anything about surprise mechanics?
I don't think there was anything released on that today. It's an ongoing discussion.
Wow. Okay.
I think you pretty much have to throw something at yourself, Jason.
Yeah.
I'll work on that. Go ahead.
I don't know. You Overwatch players, how do we feel? How do we feel about that? You're not an Overwatch guy?
So I own Overwatch.
Uh-huh.
I've just never actually gotten to playing it.
Oh,
Sure.
nice.
So I played it once, and my friend made fun of me the entire time. So
That's fair.
I'm emotionally
It's
scarred.
pretty perfect, of course.
I
cry a little.
personally don't play Overwatch. I play Paladins on the Switch because that's all I have until Blizzard Activision puts Overwatch on there. I'll switch over. I do watch my buddy Sir Fix-a-Lot play once a week. So.
Do they have role locking or anything like it in Paladin?
Yeah. Basically, Paladins is like Overwatch, and they just came out with a game called Royale something. It's like a battle royale game. It looks like Fortnite, but it doesn't play like that. And when you die, you don't die. You turn into a chicken. You have 20 seconds to like get to safety, and then you respawn into yourself. And then if you get shot, if that happens 3 times, then you finally die.
That's crazy. That happens to me in real life.
Yeah.
She's on her last life, people, so be
Yeah,
careful.
it is a bummer.
You know you can drop that trident at any time. You're going to hold on to that thing the entire show.
She made a commitment.
Yes.
We have a plan.
Any god can drop their powers.
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
What do you think of the role lock? You're a McCree guy.
I'm just gonna roll with the punches on this. Honestly, I've been playing so many online games, and I'm used to patch notes and everything. There's nothing that I can do to change this.
Yeah, but does it excite you to not have to queue into a role you don't feel like playing at the time?
Because I'll play all of the classes. I'll play support. I'll play tank. I guess I'm just really adaptable on it, so it's not really that bad to me. I don't mind because I have my favorites in each class.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you know what? If that's what I feel like playing that day, and that is kind of depending on what I want to play at the time. Yeah, you know what? Okay.
Like, I'm a little bit excited about that because I'm a true, like, flex, and that means 90% of the time I play tank or healer, maybe 98% of the time. So, like, every once in a while I want to play Tracer or Sombra or Pharah or Hanzo. I love playing Hanzo.
Whatever.
I haven't. That's crazy. I hadn't actually considered that. That
What?
I could play DPS. I could just like play a DPS if I wanted to play a DPS.
I like the idea that they're going to separate the SR for each of them. So
Yeah.
if I'm playing DPS, I'm not playing like at a way worse level than the rest of my team because I'm a better tank or support. Anyway, we'll see how it works.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to play unranked Sombra and then golds like Moira.
That will also be helpful. What have you got for us this week?
Well, it's about Jason's favorite new game.
I'm dead to y'all
Marvel
Friday.
Ultimate Alliance comes out tonight, midnight.
Holla!
It's finally hitting the streets. And at Comic-Con, they revealed the the expansion packs. And August 30th, they're going to drop free DLC of Cyclops and Colossus.
It's dope.
So yeah, and it is $20, and there is no you can't buy these DLCs separately like you can with Smash Brothers or Mortal Kombat 11. You have to get the expansion pack for $20. The next one is going to be Marvel Knights, which is going to have Blade, the Punisher, and Morbius from Spider-Man, the Dracula, which I'm pretty excited about. They also announced that Loki is going to be a playable character.
Nice.
So that's going to be cool. So what they're going to do, they're going to do Marvel Knights, then they're going to do X-Men, and then they're ending the DLC with the first comic book Stan Lee ever wrote, and that is the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to be all of those wonderful characters. So that will be great. If you guys got your pre-orders, awesome. I know that Jason, he has pre-ordered it months in advance, right when they announced it, at E3 or whatever it was.
I keep looking at the screen over here, and it won't work yet.
Hey, man, midnight, bro. Just midnight.
You're
So,
going
yeah.
to work exhausted, aren't you?
Oh, I actually have a test tomorrow.
Oh no!
But yeah, Jason will be streaming that live right here.
At midnight.
From midnight until 6 o'clock.
Not
whenever
yet.
he has to leave for work.
Tomorrow.
This is
So-
one of the times I'm going to have to prove to you guys my self-control.
So don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, this would be the time to start.
Hasn't happened yet.
So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can watch Jason live stream. I might even come over for the weekend and do some couch co-op with him. We never know.
You should do some couch side seat driving. Be like, do that. You drive him
That's
crazy.
my job.
Backseat gaming, yeah.
That's what I do.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so
That'd be
if
awesome.
you're excited, also Fire Emblem is coming soon. There is a bunch of stuff that's been going on with that. Although I haven't been paying attention because I'm just too stoked for a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 and whatnot. So make sure you guys get that. Also, Marvel Alliance Ultimate 3 will be Nintendo Switch Lite compatible. So if you're thinking about getting one of those for the $200, then go do it. Although they're not going to make a Marvel Alliance Switch Lite version that's only going to come with that Pokemon Sword and Shield. So sorry.
Bummer. I don't know. Maybe if we save up for 7 years, we could get one of them. Share it. We'd have to trade off. Cass, what have you got?
All right, so
Smooth.
this weekend is San Diego Comic-Con, and there will be plenty of fans that are lining up to see their favorite actors, writers, and everything in Hall H, which is the big hall, San Diego, every year. Some fans are going to be missing a couple of writers because it was announced today that David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, the writers of Game of Thrones, are skipping their panel at Comic-Con for the first time ever. Game of Thrones, the most recent, the final season, didn't quite go the way a lot of us had imagined.
It was basically the Dexter.
It was
And
it was a train wreck.
it was a train wreck.
Yeah, it was
Just
a train
like-
wreck. And there were
It was
a lot
like
of people,
Lost.
Yeah. There were a lot of people, myself included, that were kind of looking forward to the panel at San Diego just to see what they said. And I'm a little bit bummed that we're not going to be able to see what the writers have to say for themselves.
My question is, are you regretful that you wasted this much time investing in Game of Thrones just to end in the garbage that it did?
No. There was plenty of the show that I deeply, deeply enjoyed. And there's the decisions and the twists and turns of the last season, I have no doubt, are in the book. They're just better done. Or will be in the book whenever it is actually finished. I will say they did announce that it was due to production schedules that they were dipping out.
Uh-huh.
You will be able to see Arya, Varys, Bran, Jaime, Sam, Davos, and Grey Worm all at the panel. My hope is that the fans do not kind of
Berate
attack
them.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
they
don't
will.
think they
You
will.
can't really blame the actors for what happened. They just
Exactly.
read what's on the scripts.
Exactly. But I am a little bit bummed that we don't get to see the train wreck that would have been
yeah.
that panel.
I was looking forward to that too because, like you were talking about the time invested. I watched it all. I binge watched it basically. Like
Binge watched
I
the whole
binge
thing.
watched it. So I had a bunch of like seasons that I was given, and then I was like, oh, this show's good, but I hadn't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
So I finally picked it up, and then I watched it with my wife, and we just binge watched it over the course of like 2 months. So everything was phenomenal when you kept doing the lead up. We're like, oh, man, this is great. Can't wait to get home from work, watch a new episode of Game of Thrones. It's going to be fantastic. And then we watched all of season 8 at the same time. And so we were disappointed too, but I would have liked to have seen what was going to go on at Comic-Con, just like everybody else. But I mean, like you said, I can't blame the actors for what they had to read. I mean,
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, they weren't thrilled about it
oh yeah.
either. Yeah, I only have one thing to say about all of it. Which is it? Which camera? Jason, which camera?
You're on the main camera.
Okay. Nobody ever wants to talk to writers, directors, etc. The one time you guys could have showed up as a production person, like if they want you there, then you show up just the once and like take your whatever, your hits or whatever.
It was not going to be pretty.
It wasn't.
No.
This was a no-win situation.
It wasn't. But be a grown-up and get dressed down once if you might have learned something.
I mean, Kevin Smith is going to his Hall H, to show off Jay and Silent Bob.
Was that?
If I was in any way, shape, or form responsible for that last season of Game of Thrones, I probably wouldn't show up either. I'm going to tell you right now.
You also have to realize that other
Willis.
people that are going to be there are going to be concerned about other things that they're doing too, since it's one of the first seasons that they kind of did alone. I mean, are they still in charge of Star Wars right now? The next ones that are coming out?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, if
I
you're
thought
going...
A lot of the Star Wars stuff got put on hold, though.
Not the
After-
new
I think there are
trilogy.
some reevaluations going on.
After Solo.
Maybe that's what the production issue was, is they realized that if they showed up to this panel, for sure they were going to get fired off their new jobs.
It's just one of those things where, like, when it came to Star Wars, they kind of halted all of the side stories,
Yeah.
but they were
Oh,
in
that was
charge.
the main
Yeah,
one.
they
Oh.
were in charge of the next set of trilogy. Just-
Oh, I was thinking of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's one of the, well, Ryan basically was told to no longer do that either.
Mhm.
But,
Yep.
yeah, but with the new trilogy, they're in charge of it. So everyone who was so invested in Game of Thrones, and just now you have a bigger fan base like Star Wars, bigger, but you have Star Wars now that goes back who knows how long now.
I heard that the new trilogy is going to be Knights of the Old Republic.
I just know that it's completely separate from the Skywalker stuff.
Yeah.
Period. Which could be fine.
From what I've heard is that it is going to be Knights of the Old Republic, which was one of the best Star Wars video games ever made. So that's what fans wanted after the Skywalker trilogy storyline, and they got it.
Probably. That's what we've heard. They haven't. I don't think there's official confirmation on it.
I'm hoping
I could
for
be
some
wrong.
information at some point soon.
Yeah.
I am wondering if Star Wars as an entity was hoping that some fans would carry over with the creators and what they think now.
Should be interesting. It'd be a lot of stuff coming out. Should be fun to watch. Like, get the popcorn.
Basically, yeah.
Near, what have you got?
I have going along with San Diego Comic-Con, in one of the panels they were talking about Terminator. So
Mhm.
today at the Terminator panel, you had everybody kind of reprising the roles, and then they announced that Edward Furlong, who played John Connor in Terminator 2, will also be reprising his role. So I'm now even more excited for this new movie. You'll see it.
It looks pretty cool. He doesn't look quite as Terminator-y as he used to.
Yeah, well,
He might have to bring...
He didn't look like much of a Terminator in Terminator
That's
2. He
true.
was a snot-nosed run who had to get
Skinny
rescued.
little
Yeah.
kid, yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes. It's fun to see original,
You've got all of the original people coming back. I mean, you have, I can't remember her name now, but the original Sarah Connor coming back.
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, I had it and then I lost it, but
I was
Yeah.
like,
Fair.
is it
Yeah.
Linda?
She looks
Yeah.
really good. She looks like a BA in that trailer.
I always think Linda Carter, and I'm like, that's not right.
yeah, that's not right.
It's her twin coming back.
I mean, then you got James Cameron coming back. I mean, it's been 30 years since he's done anything.
Yeah.
And so he came back and he announced it.
Yeah,
So,
but then
I mean-
there's all those blue people in the new Terminators.
Yes.
Like,
About re-releases.
I find it weird. I was mentioning that to my wife. She's like, "Why is Edward Furlong coming back?" I was like, "But Linda Hamilton's coming back." She's like, "Well, she's different."
Of course
What
she's
the hell?
different.
she's still cool.
She's like,
I'll admit, when Linda stepped out in the trailer with
Oh,
the
yeah.
smoking gun, with the shades on, like just walking tall, I was like, "Thank you."
Your little fanboy heart thing.
my
I don't know
fanboy
why I
heart.
loved it in the
Was
first
it like
place.
your childhood walking back out
Oh, I
towards
always
you?
thought she was a badass in
Yeah.
Terminator too. So to see her step out with, like I said, just walks out of the smoke like, This is my normal every day at the office.
I
When I-
never get to walk out of smoke if I'm
When I was
sad.
growing up, I found a box of Terminator 2 trading cards,
Mhm.
and they had stickers, and my whole desk, I had this like back panel. I just had it all faced with like Terminator 2, two stickers. For,
That's
like,
an awesome backsplash.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
so like I'd do my homework, and I just see Sarah Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger
With the guns.
It's like
Linda
Sarah
had-
Connor tells you to
Linda
do
had-
your
Linda had the
homework.
guns.
Exactly.
She's doing the chin ups when they first introduced in Terminator.
So yeah,
Got to get smart to bring down
I
Skynet.
was pretty
It's just,
stoked on that.
I just love strong
I
women.
do like Gabriel Luna is in this.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a really good actor. I really like him
For
as
the
Ghost Rider.
yeah, Ghost Rider.
I'm so glad
T2000.
I'm so glad they're bringing him back for Ghost Rider. But yeah, seeing him in a little bit of a different role, and he was tweeting out and everything today. So
I like seeing older actors still being badasses on camera. I think
Mhm.
that's cool. I mean, like, you have Harrison Ford just killing it, but like,
The 150.
You know what I mean?
he's still
like-
crashing planes and walking away.
older
just
women is
fine.
good too.
Yeah.
Who are like, I'm still killing it. What? Jason, what do you got?
Oh God, why do we have to stop with mine? Okay. Unfortunately, my story is a bit of a tragedy. A well-known animation. Well, they're well-known in Japan. Kyoto Animation. They've done a bit of work in the States. They worked on Pokemon for a little bit, mainly just sequences of Pokemon. But they were the first real animation studio to make it big outside of Tokyo.
Mhm.
They started in 1981. Unfortunately, a deranged individual, a 41-year-old man, was seen outside the building putting some accelerant, and he set the building on fire. Unfortunately, 33 people have lost their lives. There's about 36 people injured as well. The company did say they were getting some death threats. The individual has been taken into custody. Unsubstantiated claims say he was screaming something about copyright infringement. So, the director of CEO did address, yes, we have been getting these threats, but no one expected this tragedy to happen. It's a shame. They've seen some real success. I've seen some of their work. It's a little bit far and few between their work, but they're a great studio. And for people to have lost a life in such a fashion, it's a very sad day. Hopefully they bounce back from it. There's no way of people who lost their life bouncing back from it. The studio as a whole gets by. They've actually been ones that's actually treated their animators fairly as well.
Yeah.
We're changing some of their practices. So it's one reason I kind of admired them and was hoping that they would get more work in the States and get their work more well done. But yeah, thoughts go out to everybody that's affected by that. And, it should never come to this. It shouldn't.
And just look out for each other, you know? Try and keep an eye out for anything crazy and try and get some help for each other. Try and just stay aware.
That is nuts.
I know it's a downer. That's why I didn't want to end with that one. So,
You
yeah.
should have told me before the broadcast.
Sorry. Well, that's the end of Super Cool Nerd News. Let's move on to something a little bit more,
Upbeat.
They're
which is anything.
well, I don't know
Give
how
me my
upbeat. No. A couple of things that we did want to mention from San Diego
Yeah,
Comic
other
Con that have already happened, and we saw the first trailer for the brand new, beautiful Broadway musical movie.
It's coming.
Oh, I've got to see
And-
this.
I haven't watched
Boy,
it yet.
howdy, it is just directly in the middle of the Uncanny Valley. It is so creepy.
Who is this movie for?
It's so creepy. They decided to go kind of the Broadway style with the very
So, like, Les Mis?
anthropomorphized cats.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah.
I
I don't even know
just
what to
pulled it up.
compare it to.
You too?
I just pulled it up.
It's so creepy. And we hear Jennifer Hudson singing Memory, which she does very well. It's the best song in the musical. It's
Who
not
is
great.
this movie for?
I don't
Oh.
know.
The Broadway people don't usually
no.
like cats. And people outside of it, like, who are... It's not to make a new generation fall in love with cats, I don't think, because, like,
Oh, no.
yikes. That's a yikes for me, dog.
I'm gonna need to stop.
Oh.
Full stop.
It looks like a bunch of furries got a budget.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
And
is
then-
that Taylor Swift?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, James Corden, Rebel Wilson, Dame Judi Dench, Idris Elba.
These are great. Oh, I gotta go to Twitter.
I
I
mean,
gotta go listen to him on
the memes
Twitter.
are gonna make the movie almost
Yeah.
worth it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know.
But,
like,
I'm out with T
I
Swift.
might have to go
You-
see it
You're out.
on
I'm
like
out.
super
out.
discount day and during the middle of the day. So
Yeah.
when I step out, I'm
Oh.
not scared.
Hello,
Oh.
Cinemark Tuesday.
There we
discount.
go.
Okay, keep going.
I mean,
Oh, man.
really fly
No,
anywhere.
scary.
This is gonna be a free option on the little plane screen the day it comes out. No, thank you.
You can't put that on there because little kids will cry. Okay, and I'm not going to sit through a flight
Seriously.
with kids.
It's like the 2000 dinosaur movie, but with people. Like, it's so creepy.
Compared to that, I might just watch Howard the Duck again.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's great.
That's fair. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Just no.
I'm
This looks
actually,
like.
I'm actually getting you a preview for that right now. So
Okay.
go ahead, please.
I'm pretty sure it's the kid from Toy Story, like the messed up one next door. He grew
Sid?
up and he made these.
Okay, I'm pushing the image of. I believe this is Taylor Swift right
Like, no,
Just-
no, you guys.
Okay.
At first, I kind of, when I was watching part of that trailer, it looked okay, but then they did
That's
a
just
really.
because they were in the dark.
Yeah, they were faded. It was dark. I understood what was happening, and then they got really close to the camera.
Ugh, that is Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
it's-
oh
Oh, man.
boy. That's rough.
So speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, do you think that's where this is going? They're gonna be like, okay,
All right.
like
No.
we heard you.
It's too
Get
late.
a little bit.
I have faith in them now. Watching Sonic the Hedgehog, the first trailer, I wasn't happy
Right,
either.
but they learned.
But they learned. So
Do you think this movie they're gonna be like, maybe not like that then?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, have you seen Ben Schwartz's Instagram?
I've not
have-
lately.
So Ben Schwartz has has his Instagram, and on there he teased a little bit of the Sonic stuff. The first thing they showed was gloves. So
Nice.
they're
So
100%
they're-
listening. So they said, hey, we pushed the movie back, and then they had Sonic's hand, and the first thing they showed was the glove, which made me realize, okay, they're listening. I'm okay with waiting a few months to see this movie because of the fact that they're listening to us.
Yeah.
Me too.
Are you excited?
And that's what I'm asking.
Is
Is,
that-
if
is that what you
they're
want from your
gonna
wife?
do on Cats?
Do you think
Mhm.
Cats is going to
It's
listen
going
to us
to
as well?
have
No.
as good a reception
No.
where they're like, okay, we heard you.
That's not happening.
You think they're just going to barrel
There's
through
there's
with
too
it?
there's too many high stars in there now that there's no way anyone's
They're
gonna
gonna be like,
go
it's
back.
gonna be fine.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
done. This is happening.
It's over with. No one's gonna want to see it.
That's not the only trailer that we got. We did get a trailer that actually looks really exciting. I think you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, it.
Yeah.
Wanted to talk about it?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It.
That was a joke.
I'm not a big horror movie guy. Most of the reasons I don't like horror movies is I don't like that they rely on jump scares. I like more of a.
You and I need to have a much longer conversation.
I hate that it's okay. My body has a natural reaction to you putting something in front of my face in a loud sound. I'm not. That's not scary to me. That's just me reacting. I like a movie all about tone. So I generally don't watch horror movies because I am a small child. But I'll go and
So
see
you
one
didn't
for
go
a good
watch
story.
Midsummer then?
No. But when it comes to like a decent story that actually interests me, then I want to go see it. So I went and saw the first It with I think it was my sister or something like that. We went and saw it, and I loved
I
it.
saw it with my sister.
Yeah, my sister was like, "You should go see this with me," and I was like, "Okay, fine." And we went and saw it, and I loved it, and I have rewatched it multiple times now. My wife won't watch it with me, but I will rewatch
That's
it.
so good.
It's
So
so good.
exuberant, and
It
it's
was
like
phenomenal. The kid actors
Yeah.
were great. It was a phenomenal movie. And
One thing I didn't like was that the chubby kid didn't get with the girl in the end. Like he wrote her that letter, and then she was like, "Nope, I'm gonna go with the skinny guy."
just haven't read the books yet.
It's a book.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I know, but
Go
still,
ahead.
This new movie definitely looks like it is keeping with kind of the style
Oh, yeah.
of the original.
What is
The new movie,
what?
the new
it is keeping in
It's
tone
great.
with it.
It looks amazing.
And I bet you that Stephen King is super happy about that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet. Like the first trailer they released, they already had me interested. Then the
Right.
second trailer they released, I was
I can't believe he does that crazy eye thing just with his eye.
Yeah.
which one?
Like-
Oh, with where he
Yeah,
can
the
like
actor does that with his eye. That's just
Bill
something
Skarsgård.
he can do. Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy good.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just convinced they threw makeup on him and he did everything.
They're like, yeah, you just go
can-
off, I guess.
You
I
can
think so,
fly,
too.
right?
He's
like,
got that presence, and he's a good actor to the point where, have you seen like the interview with Bill Hader about how they had to talk to him about his scared face?
Because he laughs when he's
like, I laugh when I'm
genuinely
nervous.
scared.
Okay, I can't help it. It's
Yeah.
scary.
It's funny too because in the entire show of Barry, he's nervous most of the time, but he's acting nervous. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trailers released today. We got our first trailer for Top Gun, which looks
Mhm.
kind of
I didn't see that
Maverick.
trailer. How does it look?
It looks
I
like a
didn't watch it
typical like movie for Top Gun. You know.
Top Gun people will be happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
They will
That's
be
all
happy.
we need.
So like
then.
my dad.
Like, it's been so long. I thought I had no
So it
feelings.
looks like a typical Tom Cruise movie trailer.
I honestly thought I had no feelings about this movie. I'm like, Top Gun, Maverick. But when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, now I remember what made Top Gun fun.
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
So now I'm on board.
Yeah.
do
And
we?
we also got an early trailer today. Kevin Smith dropped Jay and Silent Bob reboot and gave a little bit of story. Harley Quinn is playing Jason Mewes, Jay's daughter, which is going to be kind of interesting.
Kevin Smith's daughter's name is Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
not
I
Margot
knew
Robbie.
that,
I was
and
like,
then I
Margot Robbie's
forgot.
playing whose daughter?
No,
Yeah.
I knew that, and then I
Okay,
forgot,
okay,
and I'm
okay.
like, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Harley
Is
Quinn
this really
Smith.
the first movie that we've seen her?
No, she was in a movie a few years ago called Yoga Hosers with Johnny Depp's daughter. When she's actually been in a lot of Kevin Smith's movies. She played Silent Bob as a baby in Jay and Silent Bob, the first movie.
Yeah.
She was a little girl in that movie with Jennifer Lopez and
Geely?
no,
Okay.
Jersey Girl.
Equally as bad.
So yeah, but no, she's been in a bunch of Kevin Smith movies. She was even in Tusk, and so that's what Yoga Hosers came from, was a scene out of Tusk. And she's actually in what is it? The new Quentin Tarantino movie. She's one of
Okay,
the
so
characters.
Harley Quinn Smith is
Once
going
upon
to
a
be.
time in Hollywood.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, so
So
she's
she's playing
playing
Jay's daughter.
Okay.
And they are doing a road show, which Kevin did with Yoga Hosers. They're going to be at the Texas Theater here in Dallas on November 20th. Go to rebootroadshow.com for all the details for that. Yoga Hosers didn't come here; it came to Houston. So I went down to Houston, saw it with my cousin, and that was phenomenal. They had it at the Houston Improv. So, but this time they're coming through here.
I'm excited to see. I'm happy that Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, that he's gotten Jason Mewes is healthy enough to do a movie.
And actually, before this comes out, the Jason Mewes' debut director movie comes out called The Muse, or The Method of Muse, I think, or something like that.
something like that.
The date on that road show is actually November 2nd.
November 2nd?
Saturday, 7 to 11, Texas Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there were some other trailers too, but we've got to move on because we want to talk about Quakecon.
Can I talk about all the toys I saw at SDCC?
Sure, you've
Oh
got
my God.
30
We've got
seconds.
30
I saw
seconds.
toys.
Go!
I saw toys. There.
Lovely.
Man, that's next week.
You can
Toys
take
that,
a
toys that I
little
want.
more.
I
Yeah.
want toys.
Watch it also on our channel, Alternate Heads. He talks about toys a lot there, from what I
Okay,
hear.
I'll
Anyway,
talk about one figure.
okay, go for it.
We are getting Thor Lebowski in the
Yeah.
Marvel Legends line, and it is the only figure that I want this year. He's in the sweatpants, the hoodie. He's got the shades on an alternate head. All he needs is a can of beer, but I think I have that accessory.
You
I
noticed
know.
I
the
have it.
shading on
You do.
Stormbreaker too, where I can just lean it against and you can just through.
Also, they're redoing Captain America,
You said one.
and they have the figure turned around on the display.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Yes.
America's
It's
ass.
beautiful.
Also, we have from the chat Beetlejuice 2. Apparently, something came out for Beetlejuice 2. I will have to say, personally, I have not seen, nor do I care.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
It's so like
I saw the first one like once.
I heard
okay.
news about it like a while back, but it was just it kind of fell to the wayside. Just
Is
nobody.
Neil doing the makeup again?
If she is, I would be much more interested in seeing
That's how I get
it.
her on board with stuff I want to watch. Anyway,
Quakecon.
Quakecon. Quakecon is coming up not this weekend, but next weekend.
Thursday through Sunday.
Yes.
At the
It is at the Gaylord, Texas.
Gaylord, Texas. That's what it was.
In Grapevine, Texas.
So yeah, the Gaylord Hotel it's north of the airport. But we have breaking news today for QuakeCon. The game, one of the directors at id Software, Tim Willis, is leaving id Software after QuakeCon. He posted a thing on Twitter and on Instagram. He said, "I have come to Texas to work with a company I idolized, and now 24 years later, I have decided to leave id Software at the end of the month following QuakeCon. I dreamt of working at id Software before I was blessed enough to actually work here. I've been extremely lucky and lived my childhood dream and made some amazing games and helped shape the industry. I've had the best job and making the coolest things ever, video games. I did it with the best people. I love the games we made at id, and I love the people I work with here. And the fans made everything worthwhile. This will be my last QuakeCon as an id Software employee. QuakeCon has been an unbelievable part of my journey, and I look forward to seeing everyone and celebrating the studio and the games we have made. All of the projects are in very good hands. id Software is packed with full of amazing talent, and that will continue to develop long into the future, and some of the best shooters in the world. Whatever I am and will be rooting for the whole team. After QuakeCon, I will make more of my future plans known and where I'm going, and with the new exciting things I am doing. Stay tuned, and thanks for everything for the last 24 years and your support."
The guy's been there since the beginning. This is his gold watch. It's time.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that ZeniMax Media acquired id 10 years ago. So there's a lot of people saying that they were like, "Hey, stay with us 10 more years, and we'll give you that payout." And so there's a lot of like bad press with Bethesda, with Tom Howard and Fallout 76, and so he's probably done dealing with all of that nonsense.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. He's been there a long time. He might have gotten He might have gotten an offer to do like an upstart type of thing.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, I know one of the guys who was one of the indie guys that helped get all the indie games onto the Switch for Nintendo. He left last year and now is working with Xbox. So
yeah, like if they were leaving on really bad terms from both ends, then he wouldn't be out and about at QuakeCon as part of the team still. So it's at least like
right. And he might be pulling a Reggie Fils-Aimé,
that's possible.
Just retiring.
Well, I do have some. This is QuakeCon, Year of Doom.
Yes.
Which I'm excited for Doom Eternal.
Yeah. Oh, we know you are.
Yes. Starting July 25th. If you don't have a seat for BYOC yet, well, it's too late. Those people start lining up and getting those seats. I think BYOC sells out like as soon as it goes on sale. So a couple of events happening. You've got, of course, some competition for money. But they have a cosplay contest, which you can enter. Go to the website, because you have to like basically kind of pre-enter. But the prize for that is $2,000.
I did look at the cosplay contest and the fan art contest. Unfortunately, both of the entry dates have expired. Oh. They expired on June 30th.
Man, I was going to go buy a blue sweatsuit and be like a vault tryhard. Like, I didn't make it into the vault, but I thought if I put on the outfit, I could sneak in.
I was just going to not wear makeup and go as one of the, what are they called?
Well, we're going to try to go for like a 3-person cosplay. I don't know.
Yeah,
one of the Reavers.
What are they? Yeah, that's not what they're called, but yes.
Yeah. What are they called?
You can't go without makeup, because if I go without makeup, then it's just wearing the same thing. It's just awkward. One's got to go home and change.
Twinkies, yeah.
Yeah,
the-
you guys look way too
of the
similar.
people on the show, we're the ones that
Yeah,
look
the most
super
similar,
similar.
Are you guys sisters?
The other one, they're going to have plenty of competitions, which I wanted to go down just a little bit, in BYOC. Starting Thursday, June 2016, they're having deathmatch there. Clan fights. On Friday, it's going to be Quake. It's going to be the competitive game of the day.
They're playing Quake at Quakecon? That's so crazy.
Yes.
Can anyone explain
Oh, actually,
to me?
I'm sorry. Those are all of those games are being played on the same day. It's going to be
It's like
Quake
a
World,
free-for-all.
Doom 2, Elder Scrolls Online, and Nuclear Winter for Fallout 76.
Yes, nuclear winner.
On Thursday.
Can't say I did either.
I don't see anything for playing Doom, so we're not going to have anything for Doom Eternal as far as I
They're
know
not
the
going to
games-
have a Doom Eternal tournament.
I want to play Doom Eternal.
Well,
That's
The
we
game's
will be
not
able to
released
play
yet, I know.
Doom.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
They're
to
gonna, you'll, because I mean that's the whole thing is just like come play Doom Eternal. I mean this is the 25th anniversary of the original Doom, and so you'll be able to play. I mean it's gonna be just like how people will be able to play it at E3, how people will be able to play it at
Probably.
PAX.
They said there will be people playing Doom. They didn't guarantee that all attendees will be able to play it.
Yeah.
We assume that like. Well,
Gonna
so
have the
that
same
we're gonna
problems that
have.
E3 did.
Yeah, and they let pretty much they had like open stations for people at E3, so we're assuming we'll have something like that.
Of course, we're going to be doing some interviews on the floor and everything. But there was something cool that you showed me for the show. Some of the shirts.
Yes,
There
there are.
I want
some
that cat one.
cute-
That's what I'm pushing live.
There are some cute shirts coming out. They're working with a bunch of charities, and one of the charities is what is it?
Dallas Pets Alive.
Dallas
They,
Pets Alive. What are you showing right now? The cat shirt.
too. I'm showing both of them.
Okay, so the dog shirt is the Doom Slayer, and then the cat is your character from Rage 2.
These are just so cute.
And they are going to be they're going to be
cute.
they're going to be $15 at the Quakecon merch table. It's a minimum $15 donation to Dallas Pets Alive, and you get that shirt. Limited. It's going to be limited supply, so get it while you can. Hopefully, I will be able to get the dog one because
we could wear it to the
Cats are
Cats
lame.
premiere.
The best part, little thing
That would
about
be
Dallas Pets
awful.
Alive, they're a really good organization here in Dallas. They will be there with the pets as well. So if you're going to
Yeah.
think about adopting, some
I heard
fur-
they are going to do some adoption stuff. I read.
Oh, they always do. It's also a very if you're thinking about maybe you're not ready for a pet, but maybe can foster a pet, they always need fosters. So if you just want to take care of some cute kittens for a while until they find a home, and then you end up just adopting one, there you go. Or you want a puppy, and you just have them for a while and say, I love this thing, and I'm not letting it go. There you go. Now it's a really great organization here in Dallas, and they could use all the help they could get, especially right after spring with influx of pets and everything. So
That's what I like.
Just wanted to plug them.
There's a lot of really good
And follow
community
them on Instagram.
stuff going on at this con. Like you can bring your gently used consoles, controllers, or unopened consoles, controllers, and games and donate them to Gamers Outreach, which is a charity that sets up like little standalone carts in hospitals and lets kids play like while they're getting treatments and stuff to kind of distract them, so they're getting dialysis or just something that takes a while and lets them
Probably,
play video games.
Yeah, not MRIs, but other kinds.
Probably not MRIs.
They will also have their
Giant
tabletop
magnet,
and D&D area. In case you want to play some games.
The good D&D.
I'm hoping that they have a Cyberpunk 2020.
I wonder if,
2077.
No,
a friend of mine
2020
but,
Is the tabletop?
Yeah,
that they're,
yeah.
That they're basing 2027.
They had last year. They had demos of some tabletop games. I think they had Fallout, which I looked at for 10 minutes and then did not understand, walked away. But
Maybe
yeah, they
you
had
can
some
buy
of
some
those.
more
life.
minis.
And
to
they're probably
glue
not going to
on.
have the Elder Scrolls 1, seeing that they plagiarized D&D.
I mean, there's a
everything
lot of
plagiarizes
stuff.
D&D.
No, literally, it was like word for word.
Picasso says
Nothing's
that
original.
good artists borrow, great artists steal. Said that he's dead now, but like
Been dead for a hot minute. Also, last year they had they had tabletop games there. They have a tabletop library where you could check out games. So you can bring your own, but you can also check out games to go play. That's what me and a couple of friends did last year. We played Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, which was super fun.
No more Cinelinks for
And
us
the
at
artists
cons.
that
No more
did the-
Cinelinks because, oh my goodness.
At cons, just get super exhausted and just can't think of any movies that exist ever.
Both of us who have an almost encyclopedic knowledge of
Movies
and TV shows
Everything.
couldn't remember a single movie Nicolas Cage was in.
Anyway,
And let's not forget the best thing about Quakecon.
It's the top thing.
Considering
off the top
that
of
we
my
live in Texas where it's 1,000 damn degrees, but inside the BYOC it's like 55 degrees.
It's so nice. I went in there one time just to cool off.
It's great.
I used to do that in the server room when I was in IT. I was like, I'll be right back.
The sweat on your body literally freezes as you walk in.
It's so great.
And of course, all of the massive food trucks are going to have out there. So.
Yes.
And I'm hoping we get some more look into Oasis, which is id Software's program that I think that Google Stadia is going to be using.
Yeah.
That they developed, so you can play Doom 2016 on your phone and tablets and whatnot. So I'm hoping that I get to see more of that, because they were like, oh yeah, we're going to be, if you're signed up for the Doom Slayers thing, you get a look at this later today, and I didn't see anything, and so I was really disappointed. So hopefully that happens, and because I really want to see, I would really like to play Doom 66 on my phone. I can play Doom 2 on my phone, so hopefully I can play Doom 2016 on my phone.
I know we're reaching out for some really good interviews this show.
We're trying, dude. We're hitting up those emails.
If anybody out there can help us,
hey,
help.
can we talk to this guy? Hey,
We have new stuff we want to play with, so
we do. New gear.
Hopefully, I'm going to be actually out there for Able Gamers. They're the charity that helped Xbox create the adaptive controller.
oh cool.
And so I'm hopefully going to be talking with id Software about Doom Eternal and how they made what they did for disabled players to be able to play Doom on PC and consoles and whatnot. And we're going to be live streaming that on Able Gamers Twitch channel hopefully next week. So these guys will probably be with me and Julian over what we talk about. And then I'll probably just give them the bone. It's like, here you guys go.
I mean, that's cool. It was really cool to start to see like a lot more publicity around that last year with Microsoft, like the different initiatives they're starting to make more and more available.
Yeah, they're actually supposed to be making a controller for the blind. There was patents.
Really?
Yeah, there was a patent that surfaced like 2 or 3 months ago, and so that should be coming out soon. I think I'm going to be getting my hands on it. Hopefully, I've hit up my Microsoft person, so I don't know if I'll get it, but if we do, I'll talk about it. My impressions on here when I come back. But yeah, I think this next week's going to be really fun. We got a lot of things coming out this weekend with San Diego Comic-Con, and then we have Quakecon, of course.
Should be a lot of fun. I want to go around the room and everybody say like just one thing they're looking forward to in the con as we're kind of starting to wrap up. Is that interviews? What's your number one looking forward to?
If I get that interview, yeah, because id Software got blasted by a YouTuber from the UK. He goes by the Developers Gaming Toolkit, and he did a whole 5-part series on how to make a game for disabled people, like what you need to do. And he did a thing on color blindness, and he was talking about how Doom, they made a thing for colorblind people, which just made the game look like what it would be for colorblind people. They didn't do anything to like change colors or anything like that. So I'm wanting to hopefully talk to see if they had rectified that for Doom Eternal, and whatnot. Because I mean, they've done everything. They have an easy mode. They have mappable controls.
Yeah.
I think Doom was the first game to actually have an easy mode. So, I mean, I play it on normal, or at least try to, but I'm no
looking
wuss.
forward to getting some answers.
Yeah, looking forward to getting answers and getting that shirt.
Oh yeah, for sure. What about you, Cass?
Obviously the shirt. And for me, anytime that I go to convention that is video game heavy, I love the cosplays. I love running around getting pictures with people. Obviously, Kat and I kind of like cosplay, I guess. There's a possibility that you will see us running around as Junkrat and Roadhog from Overwatch.
It's not Bethesda, so we're kind of
It's
like,
not Bethesda,
but at the same
but
time, it's a really good video game cosplay.
So,
Is
we'll
yours
see.
ready? I don't care. We're going to do it if his is all the way ready.
All right.
What about you, Nir?
Well, since I'm so new to everything that's going on here, I'm not going to get to go with everybody. However, when you guys are all done with going and getting all the interviews and stuff like that, if everything's done in time, since I'm kind of handling some of the social media stuff, I can go and post that stuff on social media. And if the website's done by the time everything's done, I'll get to kind of spread that out to the
Are
world.
you going to be the Overwatch guy that we read it like Overwatch, where it's like, hey,
guy in the
headquarters,
Oracle.
Yeah, so
what have you got?
If everything goes to plan, then I will look forward to getting to put all of that out there so everyone can kind of get to see it. And then forcing Jason to get me the shirt.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
I'll get you the dog shirt.
He's not that hard to convince.
If they don't sell out, hopefully, because the good shirts sell out quick.
You better
Well,
roll
we'll be
them.
there 9 in the morning on Thursday.
Jason, what do you
I
got?
will. So you guys can just
Yeah, you
Venmo
gotta
me.
get it. I'm not going with you. to Austin.
As far as
Ooh.
the good thing about
Austin,
Quakecon is like I love
Mhm.
all the independent vendors that are on the floor, and that's usually where I find something.
Oh yeah, somebody
usually-
already reached out to us. Shout out to Dream Eater.
Yeah, when you were there, I found the Robotech tabletop game,
Mhm.
and I love Robotech. I had no idea this thing existed, so that's mainly what I'm excited for finding something new, because there's so many. They change out the vendors every year. It's not as large as it used to be when it was at the other venue. So maybe they'll increase the size and let a couple more vendors in. But that's what I'm most finding something new that I didn't necessarily need or want, but I'm going to own it after this show.
I'm actually excited. I've never been to QuakeCon before. Last year, there was an emergency kind of situation. I had to stay home. I had all the press worked out, and I just couldn't make it for either of the days. So I'm really excited to go, but I love these little more niche cons because they're so interesting. They have different art there. You see kind of more crazy cosplays there. I'm going to throw something at you. And I can
You don't know what I
wander.
was doing.
I can wander away from Jason for a while. You know, also sometimes you can get some like hot six or something, which is this Korean thing that you can't get in the States normally. Sometimes they have stuff like that at cons.
I thought
Yeah,
you said
from the
something
food
totally
trucks.
You'll have to show me.
No, but like they'll have little like booths sometimes that are like
yeah.
Korean snacks or something. Get
Right.
like weird Dorito flavors and stuff.
and
like
plenty
that.
of balls energy drink.
These Doritos taste
Balls.
like cotton candy and hot sauce.
Yeah, they have the
Hooray!
weirdest
I wonder if they're
flavors.
gonna have some like Doom themed energy drinks.
Balls has that covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
since
all
they're an
about
official
balls.
sponsor, they're probably, unless they're gonna have gamer fuel.
No,
we not?
no. Balls
Anyway.
is here.
So
Can you just
balls.
never say that again?
Balls.
What?
Balls are
Say it 3
here.
times fast.
Everyone can
Balls,
have
balls,
balls.
balls.
Is here.
Everybody can have as many balls as
Don't
they
like
want.
that.
Anyway, so that's been our show. Make sure and follow us on all of our social media at Facebook. All of them. It's
All of them.
SCNS Live everywhere.
Currently running on screen.
Huh?
Currently running on screen.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, but if you want to follow us individually, go ahead and where can they find you?
You can find me at Dead World Tweets. I talk about a lot of stuff. I just posted a wonderful article about my friend Broly Legs. He is a professional gamer. He plays Street Fighter V, and he plays with his face. And I am wearing his new shirt, Faced, today. And this is going to be my tournament shirt for every tournament I go to. And thank you, Broly Legs, for making this shirt. And so, yeah, he's just a wonderful guy. I post a lot of stuff, your stuff, and, Nintendo stuff. I'm all about that Switch life. So you can always find me about that. And just hit me up and whatnot. So, yeah, it's Dead World Tweets. And
Dead
then-
World Tweets.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. And
Cool.
also, yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Badmoon. I think it's just Badmoon Games. Badmoon Play Games.
It's not what I have
Anyway.
to do.
I don't know. You can also find me on Twitter more frequently at DOA, DOA Drawings, where we draw cartoons poorly of things casters say. Cass and I do that. And you can find me on Instagram at Better Cat. As in, there was one cat, I am the better cat.
It's like better than Ezra.
It's really just, that's what it means. What about you?
Well, currently you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Cass_Bradley, KAS_Bradley. But you can also find me doing really stupid stuff with Now with Milk, which is another comedy. It's another YouTube channel, but it's comedy. Exclusively.
It's funny.
It's
That's the difference.
Real dumb, and you can find Kat and I sometimes doing D&D stuff on there. But we also this weekend we're going to be doing SCNS D&D, which you can find us. That will be Saturday.
Yes.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under the Near Plasma. Also now started the Instagram and Twitter for Alternate Heads, so you can find that under Alternate Heads Podcast, and for Twitter I believe it's AH Vidcast, something like that, because for some reason Alternate Head Podcast was taken. But
Jason probably made it and forgot about it.
well, it was too long to do Alternate Head Podcast, so I
absolutely
couldn't do it that way, so I had to abbreviate it.
Wow.
No, I don't think I did actually.
Jason,
Anyway.
where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonTheX. Also, as Rob said, Friday night I will be streaming Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I have waited 10 years for this game. I'm so happy. So
He's
join
crying.
Us.
He's crying, guys.
Join us. Definitely, I'm going to be dragging a lot of people into this world. So yeah, and of course, I'm excited for D&D this weekend. And yes, Alternate Heads podcast will be up Monday after next. So.
We got our, hands in a lot of baskets? I don't even know what the phrase is.
We got things happening.
We do. We're hopping. We like to hop. Anyway, that's been our show. Thanks for joining us. Love each other, whatever he says at the end. But as we always say, keep on nerding.
Yeah, point the camera. Point. Yeah, just like that.